A lot of students reach out to me to find out which area should they really make their career in, whether it should be accounts, whether it should be finance. Now, look, there is no easy one answer here, right? However, we will try and figure out how you can probably make the best possible decision for yourselves. But before we do that, like always, thank you so much for all your love, comment, feedbacks. I truly appreciate it. We are already 5,000 plus, so thank you so much for getting me there. I promise you, if this is the first time you've come to my channel and if you subscribe to the channel, I will only do videos that help you in your finance and accounting career and everything ACCA, because that's my forte really. Okay. So coming back to the topic, whether it is accounting or finance. Now, look, it is at least good that now students know that these are two different categories. There is an accounts and then there is a finance. Anyone who wants to understand what is this two, right? So finance is all about money. So where you put the money in, how do you raise money, etc., etc. That, so anything to do with money is finance, right? And what you do with money is accounting, right? So you have to make records of it. So therefore, if you are someone who's really interested in the money markets, in the capital markets, you like the series like Billions, you get very fascinated by stock market, you get very fascinated by billion-dollar valuations, you get really fascinated with that uncle of yours who's been making crazy money in the futures and options, right? Then finance is for you, right? Because this is what finance people do, right? They are in the market where there is crazy amounts of money, and what you do with it is what the finance professionals are the ones who decide, right? So degrees like, or if I can call it so, or qualifications like CFA, CFP, right, and investment banking operations, right? These are the kind of things that you can do if you are someone who's interested in finance. But like I said, that's only when you are absolutely certain that you want to make a career in these kind of, for example, if you are someone who wants to get into investment banking, right, you want to work at top banks like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, right, and you are absolutely open to client engagement roles, you may be given targets, etc., then CFA is a very good role, because CFA is a very good qualification, is because it's a gold standard. And what happens is that within that qualification, you do learn so much around portfolio analysis, around risk management, around hedging, and so many other things that you will need to know around finance, right? So anyone who wants to get like a gold standard finance qualification, then CFA is probably a qualification for you. But let's say someone who wants to have their own business, they like their own practice per se, right? And you still want to be doing the same things in the financial markets, then probably CFP is a very good qualification. Why? Because CFP, by the way, is certified financial professional, because I'm sure CFA everyone knows, right? But CFP, within that, you have awful lot of wealth management, right? So you will learn things like real estate management, you will understand the tax planning, you understand financial planning, right? So it's a great qualification. It's a fairly short qualification, so maybe something that you may want to consider if you want to get into finance. Then there's also something called as investment banking operations, which is by Chartered Institute of Securities and Investment. Again, it's a fairly short certification. It takes less than a year. The investment is not crazy high. And what it does is that, let's say if you want to do CFA but you find it to be fairly tough, because I must make this disclaimer that it is tough, it's not easy, right? So let's say if you are not certain about doing something which is crazy tough, then maybe don't do CFA, right? Then do something like investment banking operations certification, because here it is very doable. It can be done less than a year, and the investment is not also crazy high, right? Now these are some of the most in demand qualifications when it comes to finance. When it comes to accounting, then my personal favorite is ACCA, right? And like I said, and I've said this multiple times, that like any chartered accountancy program, even ACCA does give you a fairly good idea around all the facets in accounting and finance. So anyone who thinks, oh, what if I do ACCA, I can only do audits, please look around, right? Go on LinkedIn and search for ACCA professions, and you will see that ACCAs are working in every area out there, be it accounting, auditing, tax, finance, due diligence, risk advisory, capital market, financial markets, you name it, and you will find ACCAs there, right? So it's not that you will only end up doing auditing. That's like a myth. So therefore, if you are someone like me who is not able to make up your mind whether you want to make your career in finance, in accounting, because I couldn't do that, right? 20 years ago, right, when I started my journey to do ACCA, yes, I know, bit of a dinosaur, right? So when I decided to do that, right, I was not sure about whether, I will eventually, get into audits or accounting or finance, right? So ACCA is a qualification that can help you in getting any of these areas, right? And anyone who does not believe me, go ahead and check my profile on LinkedIn. You will see I've worked in audits in EY, I've worked in accounting in Soprest area, WNS, and I've worked in finance at UBS. And currently, I am a group CFO at FPA EduTech, right? So therefore, ACCA is a very good qualification, fairly doable if you look at the pass rates. Yes, it's not easy, right? Because you need to still put in the effort. But yes, if you put in the efforts for the next 2-3 years, you are absolutely sorted. Now, coming to another big favorite of mine is CMAUS. Now, within the CMAUS, what happens is that you are doing everything what an ACCA will study, right? So you will study the same things, right? However, they're slightly more concise. And therefore, the program can be done within a year in 2 modules or 2 parts, as they call it. And the investment is not very crazy high. The jobs are very good. You can get into the most in-demand career or profile like FP&A, financial planning and analysis, where you do budgeting, forecasting, etc. So again, if you don't want to do crazy effort, then CMA US can also be your option, right? Again, when I spoke about ACCA, it gets you in any of the accounting and finance profiles, the same way CMA as well, right? So now, time to summarize this video. So when you are trying to make your mind whether you want to get into accounting or finance, like I said, finance is easier. If you want to be into stock markets, if you want to be into due diligence, risk advisory when it comes to investment banking kind of roles, then yes, CFA is a very good role. It's here in terms of opportunities, in terms of growth, in terms of money. But yes, the difficulty is also here. Then comes CFP, which may be slightly lower, right, in terms of difficulty, but again, the opportunities, etc., are fairly good. Then it comes to investment banking, difficulty, very much doable, right, and you still can make good career in most of the investment banks who have opened their back office operations here, right? Now, when it comes to accounting and finance, let me put it that way, right? You can pursue ACCA, which is difficulty right here, but you can make careers and the opportunities are in most of the areas, and the salaries are fairly good, right? And if you don't want to do crazy, not crazy, but yeah, it's a lot more doable compared to ACCA, then you can pursue CMA as well, right? So look, I hope this video helps, right? If you need any further details about any of these programs, we at FPA do trainings for most of these programs, right? So if you still need any further information, you do drop me a comment and I will be more than happy to get you all the information, right? So please make sure that you do share it with your friends who are probably giving their 12th standard and trying to make up their mind whether accounting is for them or finance is for them, right? On that note, thank you so much for your time and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.